One second, George.
Okay.
Yeah, turning on the YouTube broadcast takes a little bit of time. Takes a little bit of time. All right, George. A little bit past 3, but I think everyone's here, so you can go ahead when you're ready.
All right. Thanks, Peter. Well, welcome everyone to the zoning administrator meeting of September 10th, 2025 via teleconference. My name is George Schroeder, and I am the zoning administrator for today's hearing. And just a quick note, the city strongly denounces hate speech and does not tolerate disruptive behavior in our meetings. Sunnyvale prides itself on the rich diversity of our residents, and we're committed to creating a culture of belonging where members of our diverse community feel included, safe, and respected. So we have 3 agenda items today, and just want to go over a few quick procedures for the meeting. During the meeting, remote participants will remain muted when not speaking. If remote participants have a question or comment, please use the raise hand feature or dial *9 if you're on a telephone. Speakers will be called on to speak one at a time. And first, I'll ask the project planner to provide me with an update or a presentation. And then I'll ask the applicant to speak on the item. Then I'll open the public hearing to anyone who would like to speak on the project. Following that, I'll close the public hearing, consider all comments, and make a ruling. And for all these projects, my decision can be appealed within 15 calendar days to the Planning Commission. All right, so let's get started with the first agenda item. This is a special development permit to allow the expansion of an existing recreational and athletic facility use for Gold Star Gymnasium into an adjacent tenant space within an existing shopping center. This is located at 721 through 727 Sunnyvale, Saratoga Road. File number is PLNG 2024-0441. Applicant is Anthony Roxas. Owner is Leon Quezon and KC trustee. And project planner is Julia Klein. Julia, do you have a presentation or any updates?
No presentation, but I do have an update. Is it possible to share the screen? I wanted to share an update
Yeah, you
regarding.
can share your screen, Julia.
Okay, great, thank you. Is the conditions of approval viewable?
Yep,
Yes.
see him now.
Okay, perfect. So with the proposed use, currently it is a gymnasium school. And with the planning application, they're proposing to expand into the tenant space next door, which is currently occupied by Big Five Starting Goods. So Big Five will be vacating in the existing business. Gold Star will expand into that space. With that expansion, there are some triggers for building code upgrades, but the applicant and the building owner have voluntarily agreed to limit the occupancy and the people that will be in the space concurrently. And so there was a custom condition that had been basically called the building condition of approval. Staff made a mistake in placing it under the wrong header. So in the document, in the original conditions of approval that was posted online, it was called AT3, and it was under the AT sort of condition header. Given that part of the requirement requires the recordation of the deed restriction prior to building permit issuance, it should have been placed under the BP header. So with this change, we've moved it from AT3 to BP15. So all the requirement stays the same. Because of the way that the building conditions of approval was worded in regards to phrasing the specific type of use under the building code, we also wanted to align the way it was described in AT1 to better be consistent with the building conditions of approval. So we didn't want to have any confusion, for the public if anybody's looking. So we made some minor edits to AT1 as shown. And then in addition to that, there were also some sort of minor edits as well. And then also to the title, just the header of the business. So that's it. So the final version, the property owner, Ted, and applicant, Anthony, and the business operator. A copy of this was shared with them. And Ted, as a property owner who's ultimately responsible for making sure that tenants comply with the conditions of the code, he's also agreed with this condition. So that includes staff's update. And we have received no public comment letters or phone calls regarding this.
Okay, thank you, Julia. No questions from me, so I'll now turn it over to the applicant. If you have a presentation or anything you'd like to say about the item, whoever would like to speak for the applicant side.
Hello, I'm the architect, Anthony Rojas. No, we don't have any changes at this time. I think Julius summarized our position well. We work closely with all staff at different levels to try to work with them to understand our business model, and I think we've agreed to this, the conditions that are put forth in the letter. And so nothing new at this time from our end, unless you have any further questions for us.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. So you're aware of just the recent updates that were just presented right now to the conditions, and you understand all of those?
Correct. The errors, or not errors, but the revisions to the language that have been presented, we agree with. We reviewed with building owner and the business owner, and we're good with what's presented here, the changes in red, and that will go in, to my understanding, into effect as into the deed and be recorded with the approval of the planning and the planning approval permit.
Okay, sounds good. Just wanted to check. And then I was just curious about Big Five and when they were expected to vacate the space.
I I've received an email from Big Five earlier today. They want to hand over the premises to me on September 22nd.
Oh wow, okay, pretty soon here. Okay, well thank you, Mr. Leung, for clarifying that. Okay, no further questions from me, so I will now open up the public hearing. And if any members of public are here, please provide your name for the record. And to participate, you can provide public comment if you're on Zoom by using the raise hand feature, or if you're dialing on a telephone, dial star 9. Peter, do we have any members of the public that would like to speak?
No hands raised at this time, but there are people in the lobby. So again, if you would like to speak, that's raise hand if you're on computer, star 9 if you're on the phone. Give you a few seconds for that. No hands are raised at this time, George.
Okay, if there are no other members of the public that would like to speak, I will now turn it back to the applicant and seeing if there's any final comments before I close the public hearing here.
Not for me. I don't know if you want to say anything, Pam or Ted.
I understand that the city attorney has drafted a deed restriction that we'll eventually review, and we're prepared to review that as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you both. So I will now close the public hearing and I will make a ruling. So I can make the required findings for the special development permit. The use is consistent with the general plan, the El Camino Real specific plan, and the city's zoning requirements. The site improvements and the use are compatible with the shopping center. And the use provides a valuable service to the surrounding neighborhood. So I will take action on alternative 2, which is to approve the special development permit with the recommended findings in attachment 2 and conditions in attachment 3 with the following modifications. And I'm just going to run through these really quickly. So these would be the updates to the conditions of approval. So in the title, it's changing to gymnasium to gymnastics. And just bear with me while I scroll through here. Okay, and BP 13, subsection D is deleting Jim after encourage. And then adding in BP 15, which is a building condition of approval. And I won't read the whole text, but it is regarding the deed restriction about the limiting the total number of occupants. Okay, and then for AT1 is deleting fitness gym in the first sentence and then replacing it with the recreational gymnastics school. Subsection B, deleting fitness classes such as, and then replacing it with recreational. And then deleting the old text for AT3 and replacing the AT3 text with building occupancy and operation regarding compliance with the added condition of approval BP 15.
If I may,
Okay, I believe that's it.
this is Julia. If I may, there was a last minute edit as well to AT-1 subsection C to remove the word fitness.
Okay, I will include that too. Update to AT3 with the fitness. Okay, and that concludes my decision. And again, my decision can be appealed within 15 calendar days to the Planning Commission. And thank you all for this item, and wish the Gold Star Gymnastics team luck in their expander operation here.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
All right, so I'll now go to the second item here. So this is a use permit to allow a catering company with ancillary restaurant use and general liquor service for handheld catering to operate in the industrial and service zoning district. This is at 1220 Oakmead Parkway. File number is PLNG 2025-0058. Applicant is Ali Kalish and Christopher Hall. And project planner is Gabby Ventura. Hey, Gabby, do you have a presentation or any updates since the staff report?
No updates since the staff report and no presentation.
Okay, thanks, Gabby. No questions from me, so I'll now turn it over to the applicant. If you have a brief presentation or any comments you'd like to make.
I don't have any comments or anything to add to what we've already presented, so we're good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hall. Just one quick question from me. So in the description, it talks about some private events that will be held. Is that kind of sporadically, or is that to be held on like a regular basis?
I mean, as a catering company, they often will have people over to test and try their food. On occasion, I would say it's more sporadic than regular, but they would have um, catered events that would occur on site for clients. So it's very sporadic, but I would say it's at least once or twice a week, ideally.
Okay, yeah, I just
Mhm.
wanted to clarify that. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Hall. That's all the questions I have. So I'll now open up to the public hearing. And if any members of the public are on the line, please provide your name for the record. And again, to participate, you can provide public comment by using the raise hand feature on Zoom or dialing *9 on the telephone. Peter, do we have any members of the public?
No hands raised at this time. Again, *9 if you're on the phone to participate. Raise hand on the PC. Few seconds for that. No hands are raised at this time, George.
All right, thanks, Peter. Seeing no comments, I will now turn it back to the applicant, Mr. Hall. If you have any final comments, now's your time.
Nothing to add. Just want to say thanks to your staff for reviewing and working with us to get this project approved for our client. So thanks.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hall. I'll now go ahead and close the public hearing and make a ruling. So I can make the required findings for the use permits. This use is also consistent with the general plan, goals, and zoning requirements. The site plan or the site improvements will bring the site up to code standards, particularly for the trash enclosure and the bike parking. And I can also make the findings for the bike parking adjustment. And the use is going to provide service to the surrounding neighborhood. And it's good to see that a vacant building is being reused here and improved. So I will take action on alternative 1, which is to approve the use permit with the recommended findings in attachment 2 and conditions in attachment 3. All right, thank you, Mr. Hall. Thank you, and good luck to you. Thank you, Gabby. And I will now move to the last item here. So let me bring up the description. So this is a use permit to allow for education, recreation, and enrichment use. This is for a Pilates studio within an existing commercial center. It's at 500 Lawrence Expressway, Unit H, file number PLNG 2025-0367. The applicant is Michelle Liu. Project planner is Christian Mendoza. Christian, do you have a presentation or comments?
Currently, I have no presentation, nor have any members of the public contacted me for comments. I do have one update regarding the conditions of approval, if I can share my screen. Okay. The original approval would be on the left-hand side. Specifically, we're looking at AT-1 hours of operation, where the original approval was limited from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, with a stipulation that extended hours and temporary events would have to undergo additional review. We are making changes that there will be 3 different times, Monday through Thursday, from 6 to 9 p.m., 4 days a week. From 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., 1 day a week on Friday, and from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 2 days a week, with the same stipulation that extended hours and temporary events will also undergo an additional review. Other than that, there are no other changes.
Okay, thanks, Christian. No comments from me, so I will now turn over to Ms. Liu. Do you have a presentation or any comments you'd like to make?
Hi, I don't have a presentation. I don't have any additional comments.
Okay, thanks. And you're aware of the updated conditions and understand those?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, great. Okay, let's see if I had any other. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have for you, Ms. Liu. So I will now open up the public hearing. And if any members of the public are on the line and would like to speak on the project, please provide your name for the record. If you participate, you can provide public comment by using the raise hand feature on Zoom or dialing *9 if you're on the telephone. And lastly, Peter, do we have any members of the public that would like to speak?
No hands raised at this time. Again, if you're on the PC, *9. Or I mean, if you're on the phone, *9. If you're on the PC, please raise your hand. A few seconds for that. No hands are raised at this time, George.
Okay. Seeing no public comments, I'll now close the public hearing and make a ruling. I can make the required findings for the use permit. The use is consistent with the general plan and zoning requirements. There is adequate parking, and also the bike parking is being upgraded to code standards. It's another good use of a vacant space, and it's going to provide a valuable service to the surrounding neighborhood. So I will go ahead and take action on alternative 2, which is to approve the use permit with the recommended findings in attachment 3 and updated conditions in attachment 4, with the modifications to condition AT-1 that goes into details about the hours of operation as noted by staff in their presentation today. And Ms. Liu, I wish you luck in your new business here. And again, my decision for all of these items can be appealed within 15 calendar days. All right, so that concludes the zoning administrator hearing at 3:22 p.m. and the meeting is now adjourned. All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.